Hey, so I'm gonna try to do my best to explain how I make these diapers. Obviously, depending on your turkey, how big they are, depends on what size. Like these are infants, and they actually fit the ones that you just that I just bought from you. This little infant sock. Of course, bigger socks, bigger. So as they grow, of course, they'll need bigger sizes. And just remember to keep it snug. Just because of the fact that when they like crouch down or when they squat, we don't want their feet getting caught in there, because you know how they do that sometimes. I don't have a turkey for this size yet, but I'm just going to use this as an example to show you. In the YouTube video link that I sent you, the lady, obviously she cuts it, in the YouTube video she cuts it like this, and then down here at the bottom, but I don't like to do that because this is like the chest for the turkey. So what I do is I, of course, put it like this, invert it, right? Okay. Hopefully you can see from there. Let's see. So I have it flat, right? Sometimes I'll actually take a pen and like map it out. Let me see if this one will work. I try to take out as much as I can from the top to give them enough space for their wings. And I'm mapping it out just so you can see like where I'm going to cut it. Now, of course, you don't have to do it this way, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You might even find your own method that works better for you. Okay, so for the front, this is what I'm looking at. I'm trying to leave as much down here as possible because this is where their butt's gonna be. So obviously we want that covered. And this, I'm trying to leave this possible here as well for support to hold it on their neck. Because the more fabric that we leave on the sock, the more snug it's gonna fit so it doesn't like move or slide off anywhere. And this line that I made is only for the top. We're not gonna cut both the top and the bottom like that. So you can open it if you want a little bit and just, oh, wrong scissors. Yeah, so I made that little hole there and the little hole here so I can get in there. And then I'm gonna put it back flat so I know where to stop since we're not cutting, you know, all of it. So just cutting along the line. I keep grabbing the wrong scissors. Along the line there. And of course, the lines are not gonna be perfect. I try, when I come down here to the butt, I try to like just make like a nice scoop, like a scoop. Suhel, somebody just pulled up. Sorry. I'm at my friend's place of work, helping them out. And so of course, flatten it out nice again, so we can do the same thing to the other side. Cut the other side. And we just stop at the side where the line stops. All right. Now, one thing that I do is that after I do this, what's cool is that it's kind of like a template. And I'll show you how. All right, so now we have these two holes, right, on the sides. One there, one here. Okay, so that's the top. All right, so flatten it out again, all nice. All right, and now we're working with the back. With the back, we're going to keep going with these along with this line that I already made. We're gonna keep going, but I'm gonna leave a little bit more. You are gonna end up having to adjust it, you know, as you try it on. It's a trial and error. You might, like, this might be too thick. I think actually this might be too thick. So you might, if you put it on your turkey and it's not working, you might have to cut a little bit more just up here to make it fit for their wings, you know, the area between their wings. But it just You can map it out, or just because I've done this before, I'm trying to leave as much fabric as possible down here for them. So I'm just going to do this. Oh no. Oh no, okay, good, I'm good with it. Okay. So there's that. And you just gotta, you know, mess with it. Like, make sure it's flat. Just gotta play with it. It kind of looks like it's the same, actually. So that means that I did not cut enough from the top, probably. So I'm probably gonna go back in and cut more from the top. All right. Okay, yeah, so let's see. I feel like the bottom can be a little bit thicker, maybe. The top maybe can be a little bit skinnier. But again, it's just based off your turkey and how it fits in your preference, you know? It's whatever works for you. Let me go a little bit higher up here and just cut this. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna leave it there. Forget it, budget. I'm gonna leave it there. So it kind of looks like it's the same on both sides, basically, right? Kind of, you know, give or take, however the camera is, give or take. As you can tell, I cut more from like one side over here than the other one. But what's cool, what I was talking about, the templates, is that you can take this hole now, put it over this sock right here, right? And then just take like a pen or a marker and trace the hole. And so that way you end up doing it much quicker. Now, of course, it's gonna be different if, right here, this one's gonna be different, but this is just because I just did it just because I'm not actually gonna use this. But eventually you're gonna end up with like the same size hole, evenly. And so you can just put it on top of the sock like this, right there. And just literally trace it on one side. And so then what's gonna happen is you're just gonna go in and just cut along that line that you traced. But one thing is the tail. We gotta remember the tail. You see this little toe line up here? I think it's the top toe line. Yes, the top toe line. Like, I cut right underneath it, I believe. Yeah, just large enough so that their tails fit through. And this is actually a good thing because this will hold, it'll help keep the sock in place as well. This is an infant one that I had already made, and let me show you. Come here, babies. Come here. Okay, let's see how you put it on. So you open up this, you put your finger in through the side and push it all to one side, right? So you got it all to one side. You put their head in. Yeah, they're not gonna be too happy until they get used to this. All right, and the first thing I do, I hold the neck in place here. I bring their leg in, and then I just kind of like go around and put it on the tail. Yep. And you just gotta, like, you know, adjust it. Oh, see, he got his wing out, so you gotta put that back in there. I know, I'm sorry, but you gotta get used to this. Because this is how we travel. When we travel, we can't be pooping all over the place. So, there's a little hole for the tail right there. Oops. Make sure their wings are out. Oops. And in this situation, it looks like his tail's actually a little bit lower. It's probably based off the sock. So for this infant sock, what I actually should have done was cut the bottom toe line because his tail is down here. But when you do it right, the tail's gonna stick out like this, and that'll help it keep it snug and in place. But basically, see, we keep this thick so he doesn't, so if he squats down, it doesn't affect him. And then I pull this up just to make sure it's all good, nice and snug in the back. Make sure the wings are out so he can be comfortable. And that's it. I mean, it's awkward for him because this is like the second time that he's wearing one, so it's going to be awkward. It's just something that they're going to get used to. So you just got to give them a little bit of time. They'll get used to it. They will definitely get used to it. It's going crazy. Sorry. But yeah, just give them a little time to get used to it. I don't mind my first two, Nugget and Brute. They got used to it, and then it was just like nothing. It just worn like nothing. But since this is the second time that he's actually worn one, of course he's like, oh my god, what is this? But that's pretty much how you make a turkey sock diaper. If you have any questions or anything, just hey, reach out to me. Let me know, okay? Bye.